A lot of you are closing deals with me, have closed deals with me, and you think I'm like this magical closing little fairy dust creature and I just woke up like this. All of us are sales professionals, right? But we don't value ourselves as professionals. And it took me a really long time to understand that. So today we're gonna learn how to go from being nice to being wealthy. Some of you know me, some of you are part of my community already. I love you beautiful ladies. Something that is very dear to my heart is just helping women in sales in business, and I can speak to you guys. Everything that I'm telling you is from my own experience, because a lot of you are closing deals with me, have closed deals with me, and you think I'm like this magical closing little fairy dust creature and I just woke up like this. But it's actually been a really long journey, and in that journey it's been overcoming a lot of my limiting beliefs, getting coaching and support, and doing things even though it felt scary and uncomfortable, guys. Because even though right now I can get on the phone and close a deal from the parking lot, from the airport, it wasn't always like that. And I realized that the more money I wanted to make, the better person I had to become. And instead of getting frustrated, objections are coming up in every appointment, I just got comfortable with it. And I was like, you know what? Objections are coming up in every appointment. What's the objection I need to work on this week or this month? And I just got really disciplined in my skills and knowing that if I wanted to make more money, if I wanted to have a better life, I just needed to get better, right? So I love all of you ladies, so let's get this party started. And I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. So today we're gonna learn how to go from being nice to being wealthy. Let's go, because nice doesn't pay the money, doesn't pay the bills, guys. So we're gonna be covering why being too nice is costing you deals and how to change it. So all of you guys are gonna walk away from this with a different mindset. And I'll start off with my story. Again, I didn't wake up knowing how to close deals. So I worked as a buyer's agent for the beginning of my career for a really long time. I did Zillow leads. So the way that it works is the buyer submits their information, they want to see a house, so you gotta drop everything, go run to show them the house, because whoever gets to the buyer first gets the deal. So then I realized that real quick, and I was like, okay, I just gotta go meet with them. So no matter what I was doing on a Sunday, I remember I was heading to church one day and the buyer was like, I wanna go see a house in Homestead. And I was like an hour away, and I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta close deals. So I would completely drop everything and go show the houses. And that worked for a while, and I started making money, and then I was like, this just isn't working anymore. Because women, we have really great intuition. You gotta listen to your intuition, right? Anytime it doesn't feel right, don't go, right? Anytime you're starting to feel in the relationship like things are just not connecting anymore, listen to yourself, right? In business, it's the same, but in business, a lot of times we ignore that. And we're like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing this, even though it doesn't feel right. Business shouldn't feel painful, right? We shouldn't hate it. You should enjoy it, right? So you need to listen to yourself and know when things just aren't working. So then I made a pivot and I started working with more sellers. What this means, guys, not listening to yourself, not respecting your time, not valuing yourself, is time drain. You're gonna feel burnt out. You're gonna feel stressed out. We're talking a lot now about family, right? Your family doesn't like it when you're working 24/7, guys, right? So that extra commission, that extra check, a lot of times is not worth it versus being there for your family and being present. But we forget that, right? And then the wake-up call, right? I did start working with sellers. I started coaching with Mr. Aaron Novello. Anybody here know Mr. Aaron Novello? Raise your hand. Sometimes we just need someone to tell us the hard things that we don't want to hear, right? And he's like, you're being too nice. You're not pre-qualifying leads. You're showing up to meet with sellers because you think they'll like you and they'll do business with you. Now that did happen sometimes because I'm a really likable person, but a lot of times I was just wasting time. And I was like, no, if I just meet with them and like they like me and I smell nice, they're gonna want to sign a listing agreement. No, guys, it does not work. So then I made a shift, guys. Even after working with buyers, even after working with sellers, I realized that I needed to change, right? To go from being nice to being assertive. And my new identity was a closer. I was gonna become a closer. And I mastered all the skills to be able to close deals on my terms. And I never met with anyone ever again, unless they were ready to sign a listing agreement with me or sign a contract. Now at this point in my career, I'll tell you guys where I've shifted and what I'm doing. And I started building wealth at the same time. So let's talk about it. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna be covering 4 things, guys, and then I'm gonna open it up for questions. The disease to please, right? People pleasing, guys, is a disease. Even though the doctors aren't gonna diagnose you with like people pleasing and give you medication for it, it's a disease. And it's keeping you from doing more sales. The identity of being nice and how to shed it, not asking for the sale. This is a silent deal killer that most women miss out on. And the mindset of business shifts. So after we talk about all the sticky stuff, I'm going to be giving you guys mindset shifts that you can make in your business so we can start making money and enjoying our business. My friend Claude says that 70% of women in sales report avoiding conflict with prospects, even at the cost of the deal, right? And the truth is, in business, there's a lot of difficult conversations, and conflict doesn't necessarily mean like we're gonna fight, right? I'm tiny, guys, I'm 5'2", I'm never gonna fight anyone. Growing up, I had my sister, she stood up for me, but it's about having difficult conversations and being able to tell people the things they don't wanna hear. And a lot of you guys are moms. Having difficult conversations is part of being a mom, right? So business is the same. So sometimes we separate it and think it's different, but it's not. 3 times more likely to discount our commission than men. Number one reason that women lose deals is not because they don't show up to the appointment, it's because they don't ask for the close. You're there, you go and you do your whole thing, and then you don't ask them to sign the listing agreement. You're like, okay, I showed up, they're gonna do business with me. So the disease to please, let's talk about it a little bit deeper. So what does that look like in your business? Is saying yes to every request. And this works with buyers or sellers, right? If the buyer wants to look at a house at 10 o'clock at night or is texting you at 6 a.m. in the morning, like we're saying yes to that. We're accommodating them and any objections that they have. We're over apologizing, right? Whoever has followed up with a prospect and started the conversation with like, I'm sorry, it's not a good time. Am I bothering you? No. My mindset is if you picked up the phone, we're having a sales conversation, right? And if you're trying to get me off the phone, I'm gonna continue, right? There's a reason you picked up the phone, so don't tell me that you don't wanna talk right now. Avoiding necessary tension. So you're not asking questions around urgency, right? You're afraid to be direct because it feels uncomfortable, and you need to be liked. Prioritizing the prospect's comfort over your own sales goals. Guys, we do not need the prospect to like us. We need them to respect us, right? All of us are sales professionals, right? But we don't value ourselves as professionals. And it took me a really long time to understand that. Because I was like, if they just like me, if I'm just really nice to them, they're gonna continue doing business with me. And there is truth to that, right? You have to have a great customer experience. But them just liking you a lot of times isn't enough. The challenge with starting a business relationship based off like I like you, you like me, is that when it comes time to you having a difficult conversation around price reduction, right? Or something really sticky, they don't respect you. Because you started the conversation of buddy, you're my friend, I'm your friend. When it comes time to have a difficult conversation, they're like, no, Lisa, you know, we hang out and we have coffee all the time. I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to you. You're not serious, right? So it actually hurts us if they're just doing business with us because they like us. The approval addiction, right? So where does it come from? So we learned early that being agreeable means being loved, especially if you're a woman, right? That warrant doesn't turn off at work. How you are in one area of life is how you are in other areas of life. Guys, if you're people pleasing, you constantly want people to like you, it's gonna show up in your business as well. The fear of conflict. Oh, big percentage of you raise your hands, right? Maybe some of my Russian friends over there are not afraid of conflict. Women we're known for wanting to smooth things over, right? It's actually one of our greatest strengths when we learn really how to harness it. Because I can bring a prospect from here to here very quickly and very smoothly because I know how to listen to them, make sure they feel heard and understood. And then we can have a conversation about a resolution, right? If they come at me and they're upset, I don't care. I'm not gonna get defensive. I'm gonna let them vent. I'm gonna be very empathetic. And then once we're here, we can have a conversation about next steps, right? And we can all do that as women. But the initial part of like the conflict and they're upset and all of that, that's what we don't like. So if you feel like your identity is being nice, anytime you're doing something that doesn't align with that identity, then you feel like you're betraying yourself in some way. All right, being nice equals not asking. In real estate, it means not asking for the close, not asking for the appointment, right? Not asking for the price reduction, right? Not negotiating. I do a lot of negotiations. And guess what? The sellers aren't happy that they think their house is worth $300 and I'm offering $150. That's what I gotta pay, Mr. Seller. Because once I go in and I fix and flip the house, and I've already bought the house, and I'm stuck in the house, and I'm not making money on the flip, I'm not gonna call you and you're not gonna give me the money back, right? Right? So the numbers have to work for me on the front end. It has to be a win-win for both parties, right? And win-win doesn't necessarily mean sometimes they get more money. It means that I can solve their problem, the numbers still work for me, it makes sense for everybody. All right. So this is what it looks like, and I'm giving you guys scenarios from like real estate scenarios that I have had to learn myself. So wasted time, right? So when you meet with someone without setting any expectations up front, what does that look like, right? You're going on a listing appointment. Your friends, you gotta set expectations. I learned this from Aaron. Your grandma wants to sell their house. We're gonna set expectations, grandma. These are the next steps, right? We're gonna connect. When we connect, grandma, if everything makes sense, will you feel comfortable putting me to work, right? We think because it's our friends that we don't have to treat it the same. If your friend wants you to list your house and you have like a super professional process, they're not gonna doubt doing business with you. But if you're like, hey, yeah, cool, let's connect. Then they're like, I don't know if they're serious. They're just my friend. So what does that look like? Before you meet with anyone, guys, and I do cash offers, and I also do listing appointments. I don't meet with sellers in person anymore, but when I did, I would always set expectations. When we meet, here's what's gonna happen next, and here's what I'm expecting from you. Because I don't want my time wasted, because I value my time. When I went to the doctor, I had to sign up, right? I paid $500 for him to come for 10 minutes and tell me, yeah, your knees are bad, you gotta go to the, the PT, right? And stop doing those workouts that you're doing. I kind of already knew that, right? But he's a professional. So then I paid him $500 just to sit there and listen to him talk to me for 10 minutes, right? So we understand that attorneys are professionals. We understand that doctors are professionals. Why don't we see ourselves the same way? Why am I gonna go meet with the seller, give him free information about how much his house is worth, free home valuation, potential repair estimates. If you do this and you do that, you can sell the home for more money, and then I'm not gonna get paid for that, right? I'm not saying every appointment closes, but at least I wanna go and set proper expectations. So if there's a possibility of me getting a contract signed, like I wanna get a contract signed. I'm not giving you information for free. So a lot of us have a really difficult time with this. I did too. Oh my God, did me and Aaron fight about this? Because I was like, I don't wanna say that, it's too pushy, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you have to say it. And I did it enough times, and I hit my head against the wall enough times, and I was like, nah, I gotta do it. So what does that look like, right? If what I share makes sense when we connect, Melinda, and you feel comfortable and confident with me that I can help you sell the home and help you net the most, are you open to the possibility of hiring me when I see you tomorrow at 4? That's it, right? That's it. If they say yes, great, I'll bring the paperwork. If everything makes sense, we can take the next steps. If they say no, I'd rather know now, and then I can decide, okay, any particular reason? Well, because my friend's a realtor, blah, blah, blah. I wanna know that before I get there, because guess what? It's gonna come up anyways. I'd rather be prepared, and then you can make a business decision. Okay, the friend is a realtor, let me get really prepared for that objection so I can handle it at the close. Or I can say, okay, I don't wanna meet with them because they told me that no matter what I say, if I jump around, if I have the nicest presentation, they're just not gonna work with me, right? Like let's say their mom is a realtor. Guys, you're not gonna win the listing over somebody's mom. I'm sorry, right? So then I'm not gonna waste my time, and I can use that time to generate more business. The more time you waste on people that are not ready to move forward with you, we think we're being productive, but in reality, being productive means getting back on the phone and talking to somebody else. The discount trap. Oh, another agent lowered their commission. Oh, how much? Oh, well, they want to do it for 2%. Oh, I'll do it for 2% too, right? No. Did you know the reason you're hiring a listing agent, a professional real estate agent is for their skills of negotiation? Were you aware of that, Mr. Seller? Oh, no, I don't know. I guess I wasn't aware of that. Yeah. So if they're demonstrating to you their inability to negotiate their own fee, their value, what do you think they're gonna do to your sales price? Oh, makes sense. Exactly. I might be tough on my fee because we add value. I know we do, right? But I'm gonna be equally as tough negotiating for you, Mr. Seller. That's what you would expect from your agent, correct? Yes. Sign here, sign here, sign here. Bye. And the other agent, right? Because it makes sense, guys, right? It makes sense. The other thing, the objection trap. Do not walk out of an appointment without handling that objection. Now, I'm not saying that every time you handle it, you're gonna get the close, right? Nothing works 100% of the time. But the moment I hear I need to think about it, if you are the type of person that's like, okay, I can tell they need to think about it because it's a really difficult decision, da, 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 da. No, they don't. When someone needs to think about it, there's something that's unclear. And your job is to give them clarity, right? And after you have all that clarity, if they still don't want to do business with you, that's cool, but at least I've left that appointment giving you everything. Is it price? Is it marketing? Is it commission? Is it me, right? But we're afraid to do that because it's a lot easier to like walk away and then you're following up and following up and following up and following up, and then they don't pick up. Because when something's unclear, guys, the prospects are looking to you for clarity. You're the professional. So if you leave them with, I need to think about it, they're not gonna make a decision, or they're gonna make the wrong decision because they need clarity to move forward. So very politely, validate. I hear you. It's a big decision, right? Right? Typically, most sellers need to figure out a few things. Before I go, just like to review a couple things with you, just to help make the decision easier for you, right? Most sellers need to figure out if they're gonna sell. Based on all the information we've reviewed today, are you 100% decided that you're gonna sell the property? Or now that you have all this information, has something changed? No, I definitely need to sell. Great, we've already made that decision. What about the price, right? We review what the marketplace is showing us. Are you comfortable moving forward at that price? Maybe it's a price thing, guys. Most of the time it's price. Like the price that you told them, they don't like it. And guess what? That's the price. Because if you guys are doing business the way you need to, you're giving them realistic expectations on price. They may not be happy about it, but we need to like problem solve with them, because what's gonna happen is then another agent comes in, promises them the moon, tells them they can sell it for 100K more. They go list with that agent. They spend 6 months on the market. It doesn't sell. So you're actually doing them a disservice. So do you wanna sell? Yes, great. Is it the price, right? Is it the professional fee, right? Let's talk about it. Or is it me? Do you feel comfortable and confident with me? Great. We've made all 3 decisions. The next logical step is to put me to work. Just getting comfortable with that means that you guys can make a ton more money in your business. We're gonna stop people pleasing, and we're gonna tell people the truth, even though it's difficult, right? We're gonna ask with zero apology, are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to sign the agreement? Any other questions before we take care of the paperwork? No? Great, sign here. We're gonna say no boldly. That doesn't work for me, right? And we're gonna make sure that sellers and prospects adhere to our process, right? Just had a seller recently reach out to me and was like, hey, I wanna sell my house, can you come on a Sunday? And I was like, Sunday is my day off. So I am not gonna go meet with you on a Sunday. So I set the expectations. Here's how our process works. We set up a quick 10 to 15 minute Zoom appointment so that we can review everything together. And if everything makes sense, we can take the next step. So I put them on a Zoom call. Why? Because I set the process, not them. And be unapologetically yourself. Authenticity closes more deals than niceness, guys. People don't wanna like you, they wanna respect you, right? We think rapport is like, you like dogs, I like dogs. I like chickens, you like chickens. No, rapport really is built when you can ask really great questions and somebody feels heard and understood. Any of you have ever done therapy? You connect with your therapist because you're listening and they're asking really great questions. Sales is a little bit like therapy, a lot like therapy. You have to sit there, listen, be present with someone's emotions. And once they feel like you understand them really, really well, they're gonna naturally wanna do business with you. But if you spend all that time building all that rapport but didn't ask for the close, then you're not gonna get the business. So it's a 2 for 1. One can't happen without the other. So asking for the sale, what are we gonna do? We're gonna reframe. Sales is all about reframe. So when you don't ask, you're not being kind, you're leaving the prospect stuck in indecision, right? So old belief, asking feels pushy and selfish, right? Asking for the close. New belief, asking helps them move forward with confidence. All right, we're gonna say it out loud.
Asking.
1, 2, 3. You believe?
Asking helps them move forward with confidence.
There you go. So I want us all to walk away with this as your new belief, right? We're no longer gonna think the word pushy and selfish. I hate the word pushy in sales because we almost use it as a cop-out. I didn't handle the objection because I didn't want to be pushy. I didn't want to be aggressive. When someone says they need to think about it, I'm not telling them like, what do you need to think about? Sign right now, right here, right? Right. I'm in your house, sign it, right? That is pushy and aggressive. So it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. And as a woman, we're all really good at validating people's emotions. Hey, I hear you, right? I know it's a big decision, but then I'm gonna go into objection handling. I'm not gonna walk out of there without helping them work through it. So that's the piece that we're lacking a lot of times. So here are the pivots that I made in my business and how you can build a business that you actually enjoy and that serves you instead of you feeling like you have to work for the money and sacrifice other areas of your life. So number 1, level up, become a killer closer. Number 2, shift from time wasters to motivated seller leads. Number 3, build a life by design. And then number 4, close deals from home and get your time back. You could close deals virtually, guys. You don't have to meet with everyone. You can actually close deals from home. So level up. First thing we're gonna do, level up, become a killer closer. So what does that mean? Like your skills, right? The more confident you are in your skills, the less you have to chase people, the more selective you can be with who you want to work with. So what that means is we need to practice Our conversations, we have to get really good at asking skilled questions. Our listing presentation, eat, breathe, sleep, repeat your listing presentation. Your objections, eat, breathe, sleep, repeat, right? You have to get obsessed with this stuff, guys, because every time that you get an objection and you don't handle it, that's money that you're losing, right? I need to think about it. I'm gonna listen to that on the drive wherever you guys are going next. In the morning, while I cook, while I take my kids to school. Like, that's how obsessed you have to be with this stuff. Because once you master it, no one can ever touch you, right? And you can make as much money as you want, and then you can say no to people that don't align with you, your values, and your business. I say no to people all the time. We're not gonna be the right fit to work together.
Process.
Yeah. You're not willing to stick to my process? I want you to show every single house and be here at every single appointment. Anyone wants to see the house? No.
Or meeting without the spouse.
Or meeting without the spouse. Oh
That's
my
amazing.
God. My spouse, my wife isn't here. She works too much, but come meet with me and then I'll talk to her. No, everyone needs to be present. I'm not gonna go drive, waste gas. Gas is really expensive, guys. And waste my time if all the decision makers are not there. Super important. You have to own your listing presentation, which we already talked about, and you wanna expand beyond listings. This was really like a game changer for me. Listings are great and I love listings, but there's other ways to do real estate, and you have to just get really good at crafting solutions for sellers. So we do cash offers, novations, seller finance, subject to. So anytime there's a solution or a problem, we can provide a solution for it, right? And some of you have done deals with me or have been in conversations with me, and you know, whatever problem the seller has, I can provide a solution. So what that makes you now is you're a specialist instead of just a generalist, right? People pay more money for specialists than they do for generalists because everyone kind of does the same thing in real estate. We list properties and we work with buyers and sellers. But if you have a higher level of skill set, people are gonna naturally come to you. So offering creative solutions, guys. Cash offers, novation, seller finance, subject to, closing deals that other agents can't close. And I shifted from time waste search to motivated seller leads. If I can tell you guys the biggest shift in my business, motivated sellers, once you get a signed listing or a signed contract from a motivated seller, guys, they need to sell. They have a problem, right? These are gonna be the best sellers in the world. Versus the seller that tells you, I wanna sell because I wanna go from like a 2-bedroom into a 4-bedroom, but the 4-bedroom has to be in this area and have this and have that and have that and have that. Those sellers aren't motivated. So that's why when you're coming to them and telling them, hey, we've got an offer, but it's a little bit under market value, they're not gonna sign because the motivation isn't there. Versus the seller that needs your help and is motivated, it's gonna be like, yeah, where do I sign? Those have been the best deals that I've ever done. So what we do in our business, so we have different channels. We do direct mail, we send mailers to distressed sellers. We also do cash offer ads. We do YouTube, Facebook ads, pay-per-click ads. And then we also have a team that cold calls and does outbound calling. A lot of you guys do cold calling. If you're gonna be doing cold calling, it needs to be targeted. It needs to be people that have a big life event that's happening. Divorce, foreclosure, probate, tired landlords, taxes, liens, violations, anything where they need to sell. Because if you're trying to get a listing or a contract in the next 2 weeks, you need to go to someone that needs to do something in the next 2 weeks, right? Nurturing is great, and Gabriela gave us all the good follow-up stuff. Follow-up is a super important part of business, but you have to start off with the right avatar, people that have a high intent. And then, yeah, life event targeting, which we already talked about. So what I've done in my business is I've pivoted from just a realtor to a real estate investment specialist. So we actually do deals nationwide. The deals that we do are all virtual. Even the local ones I do virtually because I built my life by design. We have a passive income portfolio, which we have through conventional financing and creative financing. And I have a listing funnel. So the cash offer ads are the best leads that you could have right now because they need to sell. They have intent, they're submitting a form saying like, hey, I want to sell my house. But then a lot of times the price doesn't align. They realize that the cash offer is a little bit lower than what they need. And then we offer them the listing. They're already on the phone with you. They built rapport with you. It's just a matter of pivoting to another solution. And you have full control, right? You choose who you work with. You set your own rates. And you don't work with clients that don't align with you. Say no to people. The best feeling in the world is telling someone that's like, a pain in the butt, like, I don't want to work with you. Go find someone else. And you can close from home, guys. So right now what our business consists of is we do all presentations on Zoom. Thanks to our team, we actually recently integrated Zoom listing presentations. We close deals virtually on the phone. So we do wholesales, novation, creative deals on the phone. We've actually partnered with a lot of different agents in the community and we've helped them close deals. And I'm licensed all over Florida, so I actually list homes in different parts of Florida because I meet with the sellers on Zoom. And we're closing deals nationwide. I never see these houses, which is the best part. We have obviously a process behind that. We send someone to take pictures. All of that we've got handled, but I never see any of the houses. And outside of here, I wanted to show you guys that it was possible to do deals in other areas. So we're doing deals. We've done deals in Orlando, Louisiana, New Jersey, Branson, Missouri. I have no idea where this is. Jacksonville, DeLand, Florida. And then we have a bunch more, but I just wanted to show you guys addresses that were local. And we're helping others win and close deals, right? And there's different ways that we're helping people win. We're helping them get more listings and also tap into the investment side and do more deals that way. So, leaving you guys with a quote here. You don't have to choose between being kind and being powerful. The world needs bold women who ask for what they want in the boardroom, in the sales room, and everywhere.
You said something that was pivotal for me when you said you don't get stuck in frustration. How do you pivot your mind when you deployed all of the things and the things didn't pan out? How do you move beyond frustration personally? How do you have that mindset shift that allows you to sit at the desk and do it again?
Because I show you guys kind of like the good stuff, but I've been on the phones for hours and hours and hours. So I read a really great book, and I'll send it to you, 𝗃𝐶, that was called How to Suffer Well. So you realize, you realize that like things are gonna be hard no matter what you're doing, and then you just have to accept it. And once you accept that things are hard, you're not as frustrated by it, because it's the fact that someone isn't picking up the phone isn't hard. It's our internal belief around it, right? Like, because then you start telling yourself like, I'm never gonna succeed. People aren't picking up the phone. When you think about it, all that has happened is someone didn't pick up the phone, but we created this whole story behind it. And that's where the problem lies, is like the stories that we create. I've done a lot of like personal development, a lot of coaching, right? A lot of like, what you're doing here is really important. It's getting out of your comfort zone and putting yourself in rooms with women that are like amazing, right? That you can connect with, like talk to them and get their internal beliefs. And eventually you start believing it yourself, right? It's not something that happens overnight, but knowing that things are gonna be hard, it always takes longer than you think it is. Like I wanna be a billionaire because I'm like highly ambitious, right? I'm not there yet, right? But I know things take time, and I'm just like willing to stay the course because I know like I'll never go back to working for someone else. And when it did get really hard in real estate, I did have conversations with myself, like pity parties, like, oh my God, this is really hard. But then like what I've learned is have your little pity party, because it's okay. Go to sleep, and the next morning wake up and it's a brand new day. Because maybe that day your like energy wasn't there. We go through difficult things sometimes, but the next day is a new day. So like I completely forget what happened yesterday and like, I'm here. Let's talk to these sellers.